You want 767 on the departure.
Out of the blue of the western sky comes
Runway DFW.
The following program comes to you in color.
Live from Dallas, Fort Worth.
Well, good morning, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Wherever you may be on this big blue marble, it's Walt back with you for another edition of Runway DFW. We are doing a little experimenting today with our equipment. We're on kind of what I call a cool down way of broadcasting. We're not using our computer today because that tends to overheat. So we're using another device, so things will look a little different. I hope they don't sound too much different, and we'll just proceed from there on a Sunday morning edition of Runway DFW. All right, we'll put in the time. We'll put in our location, I think. There it is. Okay, so welcome in. Let's see what we've got coming in. We have American Flight 698 from Phoenix about to touch down. It's an Airbus A321. It's kind of an unusual start time for us on this Sunday morning. We usually start early and then sign off around 10 a.m. Central Time to give way to our pals Kevin and Rudy out there at LAX, but the AVL plane jockeys are in Honolulu today, and they're starting a little later, so we'll give you a little pre-game activity until they fire up at 1 p.m. Central Time. As you can see, it is a hazy morning here. We're due to get up into the 90s, I believe, as far as temperature goes. We don't have our temperature on the screen, as you can see, as you can not see, but the temperature is reported at 79 degrees. Winds out of the south at 9 miles an hour. And we've got, as you can see, a little bit of a pile up of planes there, getting ready to take off. Looks like a dozen or so. Don't see any wide bodies in that group, so we'll keep an eye on that. Next arrival from Baton Rouge, Louisiana, is American Eagle 3618. This will be an Embraer 175. Here on a Sunday morning edition of Runway DFW. Oh, there's one other thing. The company that makes the box through which we are transmitting put out an alert this morning that said the latest software has a fatal bug. So if we go off the air at some point, we'll endeavor to get back on. So I haven't looked what's coming up. We should see the two Middle Eastern flights come in from Emirates and Qatar while we're here this morning. Let's see if this works. Let's see if our chat works here. There's Texas Girl saying good morning, everyone. Stocko wants to know if you're planning to stay out the whole day. No, our plan, if everything works, will be to remain here. It's about 1 p.m. and then we'll hand it over to Kevin and Rudy. Iordi says, is that area always going to be closed? It surely feels like it. Yeah, we've had that sign up for quite a while now. And this fence. So we'll see what happens. American Flight 2649 from Vegas. It's an Airbus A321. And as you can see, we're kind of on the wrong side of the sun in the mornings here at Founders Plaza at DFW Airport. So at least until the sun gets a little higher in the sky, we've got a lot of silhouetted airplane shots for you. Sky Serenade says good morning, everyone. Richard Carlisle up there in Indiana says good morning, Walt and everyone. Hello, Richard. Good to see you here. Alan Lee checks in from the northeast of England. Hello. Our friend O'Malley. And, of course, one of our great mods says, howdy, y'all. Robert Smith, another mod, says good morning. And Iordi says, I bet it already feels boiling. There's a certain level of humidity here. I would acknowledge that. Here's a plane that's getting ready to go off to El Paso, Texas. It's American Flight 1365. It's a 737-800. Just before we went on the air, I kind of lathered up with some sunscreen. Which it's necessary to do, but if you've got to touch a lot of screens, you've got to get your hands all mopped up before you proceed. Look at that. Not seeing that one on the radar here. I was watching our friend Kevin from Wellington Flights Live last night, and I saw some of our regulars pop on there, including Skittles and Kevin. I saw that Kevin, and again we're talking about Wellington Flights Live from New Zealand. Kevin was approaching his 10,000th subscriber, and I was encouraging people to subscribe, and Kevin saw me in the chat room, and by the way, there's the American Airlines Piedmont livery going out. Kevin saw me in the chat room, reached into his car and pulled out a Runway DFW hat. So I'd heard a rumor about that, but yeah, there it was. So Kevin had some of our merch down there and down under. Although I do have to say that I really like Kevin's regular headwear. He's got a very distinctive hat. I don't even know what kind of hat it is. So what do we have there? That was American Flight 3004 off to Phoenix with the Piedmont livery and Airbus A321. Stocko says, do you watch Sid Squad? And yes, I was also watching Sid Squad yesterday, and they had some very kind things to say about this broadcast. And I told them I'm very inspired by what they do. Linda Kavinsky says, good morning from a warm Chicagoland. Morning, Linda. It's American Flight 2193 arriving from Tucson, Arizona, an Airbus A321. Yeah, and off to Albuquerque goes American Flight 928, a 737-800. That's probably as clear as it's going to get as we look down to the southern end of runway 18 left. I would suspicion that our image is going to get a little grittier as the morning wears on. John M. says, great timing. Today's show just popped up as I tuned into YouTube. Well, we planned it that way. Lawrence Cope, good afternoon from a very warm and sunny South Wales in the UK. It's stopped raining at least. That's good to see. H. Dot, talking to O'Malley, says, France is having the wettest late spring since 1957. My field is growing while I look at it and I can't mow it. Zachary Ludlow, sorry, says, good morning, Walt. Hello. Chase Yuri says, from Utah, Salt Lake City. I am at work. I think that's what it says. And O'Malley says, welcome to Texas summer. Thanks, O'Malley. Here comes our first Spirit flight of the morning. This is flight 1270 from Las Vegas. An Airbus A320. In the birthday cake livery, as it's known, or as I've heard it called anyway. And yes, we were supposed to have brought you a program from San Antonio International Airport on Friday evening for the arrival of the first Condor flight from Germany. In fact, it was San Antonio's first European destination. But there were some things that popped up here in North Texas which required me to stay, so I couldn't go down there, but maybe we'll get down there and see it one of these days, because we don't see Condor up here. Randy Buxbaum says it was 100 here yesterday, a little early for those temperatures. I hope you're talking about Fahrenheit. And yes, our best, John M. We wish the best to our friends in Houston, the Houston area in East Texas, for they had some really awful storms there. We have a $2 super chat coming in from Janice K, who says, "Good morning, everyone. Enjoy your up channel." Well, thank you, Janice. Much appreciated. Still clearing out the backlog here on 18 left. You see a United plane coming over the bridge there. That's flight 1253, which will eventually be headed to Denver. That was American Eagle 6186 coming in from Stillwater, Oklahoma. And methinks we have another super chat here. And this one's from Danny Kennedy. $5. Thank you, Danny. Arcada Payne Videos. Did I pronounce that correctly? Says that's Spirit livery. N636NK is what I'm taking to Myrtle Beach tomorrow morning from Boston. Or Baston, as they say. And we have some things popping in here. Oh, our friend Fareed is here. Says, I'm here. Feet from Walt. Can't be out in this kind of sun, so I'm sitting in my rental car. So wherever you are, Fareed, I don't see you, but I hope you're doing well. Maybe you can pop out for just a short bit. what's happening here. Give you a little look at the wind conditions. There's the big American flag over there by the radar tower. So the wind's kind of blowing gently out of the south. 9 miles an hour, it says here. I should see what's on the agenda for today as far as anything that would be super interesting plane-wise. We've got a One World American livery coming in at 10:23 from Washington National Airport. At 11:25, the Frontier Pratt & Whitney livery. American Airlines PSA Retro, always a favorite, said to be coming in at 12:40, which is just, it'll be in our final hour of broadcast. We do have a Cathay Pacific Cargo 747-400 set to arrive just after 11 o'clock Central Time. And that same plane is set to depart about 90 minutes later, so we should be able to bring you that as well. The morning flight from Qatar Airways from Doha is set to arrive at 9:36, just a few minutes from now. So we'll keep an eye out for that. Just about 10 minutes later, the arrival of Emirates from Dubai. The Emirates is a 777-300ER. The Qatar plane is an Airbus A350-1000. So that's what's on the docket for a Sunday morning here at Dallas-Fort Worth International Airport. Sunday morning is generally quiet as far as UPS is concerned. UPS, of course, has a busy facility just to the south of us. There is a 767 on the radar, but I don't see any activity. Usually Sunday morning is pretty quiet over there. Just going through our comments here. Robert Smith says, forgot the most important. Hello. Hello, Walt. Hello to you, Robert. Confused Donut says hello from Minnesota. There's an E-Jet arriving from Oklahoma City, number 175. As you see, a 777-200ER there, waiting its turn to go across from the hangar area to the terminal area for its next aviation assignment. The backlog of airplanes over there at runway 18 left is, well, it's still, there's still a few planes waiting to take off. Greg G says, hello, Walt. Hello to you. I see Gerard in the stream here. And this is a problem we haven't been able to solve yet with this software. Gerard is celebrating 11 months as a member. He says a big hello, Runway DFW and everyone. But I can't display it. All it just displays a blank. I've got to complain to our people who supply us with this software. But thank you, Gerard, for 11 months of membership. We have a Delta flight arriving now from Minneapolis, St. Paul. Flight 1515 is this, a 737-900. Trying to remember the last time I've seen a Delta 737-900. A 7-year-old plane. Though it doesn't have the current Delta livery. Let's see, is this the One World livery we were expecting to see? I can't tell. It's coming in over on the east side, and it's a little murky. Here's the United Airbus A319 to Denver we talked about. $19.99. So there's our first acknowledgement of a 20th century jet plane on today's broadcast. I see the Qatar flight from Doha. This is an A350-1000. It's about 8 minutes away. I suspect it's going to come in on the east side. We'll try to pick it up when it gets a little closer. Pan Am 436 says hello, Walt, and everyone from Italia. Greg G says, hey, Walt. So this plane's still kind of hanging out here. In the meantime, we've got American Airline, American Eagle flight 9919. That's almost as high as you can get as far as a flight number. This one's arriving from Stillwater, Oklahoma. It's a CRJ 701ER. Here comes American Flight 2178. It is going to Salt Lake City. It's an Airbus A320.
Alaska 543 on MC Park, bring 18 left, good takeoff. Thanks. American 178, kind of departure, have to go fly. Texas 2178.
And arriving there was American Flight 2854 from McAllen, Texas, 737-800. Next on the docket is Alaska Alaska Flight 543, a 737-900, off to Seattle. I'm coming to the conclusion that the United plane that we've been looking at over there on the right, a little overexposed, but it is waiting for a slot. It's waiting for a slot to open for its flight to San Francisco. That's flight 1253 once again. And yeah, just got to hang out there for a while. Right behind it is Frontier Flight 2147, an Airbus A321neo, with, I don't know if we can make it out. Let's see if we can see it here. It says Hugh the Manatee. An aquatic creature. And that plane is new as of last month. So that has that new plane smell. From Fargo, we'll widen out to bring you the arrival of American Eagle Flight 3373. It is an E-Jet, as you can see. I've heard good things about the E-Jet, the Embraer 175s and 170s and 190s. Never been on one. Skip says, greetings to Walt and all watching from Ohio with wife. Love watching all the planes and great commentary. Keep up the great work in plane spotting. Thank you to Skip. And Robert Smith says, unless Flight Radar 24 is in Flight Radar 12 mode this morning, looks like a west side arrival for the Qatar flight. Well, that's excellent. Excellent news. Thank you for that update. I do see it now on the screen. We should be able to get an eyeball on it here momentarily. Meanwhile, the United flight we've been scoping out is now poised for takeoff.
Yeah, 1263, I need a beacon, turn 18 left for takeoff. Turn takeoff, 18 left on that beacon, turn 1263.
So as we say adios to the United flight to the West Coast, we're going to flip things around now so we can get a nice extended view of this big Airbus A350-1000 coming in from Doha. And I don't know what's happening to our messaging. Our little messages are popping up on the screen without me summoning them. Like that one. You know, it looks like our messages have a mind of their own this morning. Well, there's the flight from Doha. That's one of two daily flights that Qatar operates betwixt here and the Middle East. That was the end of almost a 16-hour flight. I'm going to say 16 hours by the time they get it into the hangar there, or get it into the terminal. Alonzo Fasha says, I've only been on an Embraer 175 once on a flight to DFW from Roswell, New Mexico, a flight normally operated by a CRJ 700. The E-Jet is more comfortable, quieter, and smoother than the CRJ. Well, I don't know what's happening with these messages. They want to display by themselves, and I don't know why that is. So bear with us, folks. It could also be heat related. Because it's the air temperature not that hot right now, but between that and the humidity, it feels kind of warmish. So there's the manatee going out there. That airplane's going to Denver, Colorado, an Airbus A321neo, and again, as we pointed out earlier, this is it's a brand new plane, delivered last month. So as this goes out, we've got American Flight 2070 coming in from San Antonio, Texas. An Airbus A319, there you see it. So we have parallel activity over here on the west side of the airport, and that's also the case on the east side of the airport, where they normally have one more north-south runway than we have over here. We've got 2 north-south runways. They've got 3 over there, although currently the runway 17 right is out of commission as they're doing some repairs.
You're impressive.
Oh, well, thank you.
Wow, that equipment is just impressive.
Well,
you have like a channel you watch or something, or?
Yeah, it's a Runway DFW. We're live on YouTube right now. It's okay. It's okay. We're very laid back here at Runway DFW. So we say hello to the occupant of car 9002. The ground operations team here at DFW Airport. Parked over there by the UPS facility. Wow, things have gotten just super quiet over here all of a sudden. But that is to be cured very, very quickly because Frontier Flight 4464 is about to arrive from Denver, Colorado with Hamburg, the California Condor, on its tail. I'm about ready to crack open my first bottle of water here today. So yes, it's water time now. Let me guzzle a bit of this. So yes, I didn't even make it through an hour without needing some water, but I guess that's to be expected. American Flight 423 is coming in from Boise, Idaho. It's a 9-year-old Airbus A321-300. A loud honk. I hope it's not my car. I'll check that in just a minute. No, I don't think it's my car. Honk if you love Runway DFW. Thank you. But don't honk too much. Yes, honk for Walt, says a few trains at. Colin Latimer says, that scared me. It scared me a little bit too, actually, to be frank. Marco Celli says, you know your friend Kevin and Rudy are in Honolulu. I do. And as far as I know, they're supposed to go off or go on the air at about 1 o'clock Central Time. And that, coincidentally, is when we have opted to keep our broadcast going until. So if you've got nothing better to do until they come on the air, and I'm sure you're going to want to watch their presentation today from the Aloha State, stick around with us. And when our stream ends, it should send you automatically over there, across the Pacific. I found it interesting that Kevin was saying on Friday's test broadcast that the internet connectivity there at Honolulu was not unlike what he experienced at LAX a couple of years ago, which is to say, not always consistent. And I've had kind of the same experience here at DFW Airport. When I started at the end of 2021, it was pretty hit and miss there for a while. As we watch this plane coming in from Santa Barbara, California, Airbus A319, American Flight 589. Well, there's Fareed. He's over there, all decked out in his Green Bay gear. How are you doing, sir?
Day out.
Thanks for coming out in the sun.
Can handle it for a little bit.
So when you go back today? Tonight?
Tonight.
Well, you got some good spotting in.
Yeah, yesterday I was out there for a little bit. It wasn't bad.
Yeah. You know, today's going to be kind of one of those miserable days.
It is what it is down here.
Yeah, it is.
As you know.
As I know.
I'm taking the heat back to the hometown, too.
Oh, wow. Well, we've got a wide body coming in. This is the flight from Dubai. And this will be a 777 300ER. 7-year-old plane. It left Dubai 15 hours and 31 minutes ago. So it's a little shorter journey than the Qatar flight was. Now, if I'm not mistaken, Emirates still flies over Russia on its way over here. I think that's what it was. Now, I'm not sure if not sure if Qatar flies over Russian airspace or not. But I know most Western airlines, I'm pretty sure all Western airlines do not fly over Russian airspace, and that can be a big detour for some airlines and some routes. I'm looking at a message from Michael Trout, who has now there you see his name. I can't display his message for some reason, but he's been a member of the channel for 6 months, and he says here, "Time flies when you're having fun. Keep up the great work." Thank you, Michael Trout, for being a member of the channel. Finnair A350 fan Dallas, Australia says, "Hello, everyone. Hello to you." Skating Banana says, "Good morning, y'all." Robert Smith says, "Breakfast time, back in a bit." So quiet now here at the plaza. So we take a look at the Emirates plane pulling on over to its berth at Terminal D. I tell you what, while we have a little bit of downtime here, let us play for you our salute to our members. I'll probably try to play this again at the end of the show, but I would like to get this to make sure that I don't forget to do this. So here we go with our salute to our members and to our channel sponsor, of course, James Webb. So we're not going off the air yet. This is just a little bit of a way to fill up some time in a productive way. Thanking our Quad Jet members first, then a salute to our Tri-Jet members and our Twin Jet members of Runway DFW. Look at all these people. Thank you all. So thanks once again to all of our channel members, and of course to our channel sponsor, James Webb. We've got Curtis Marduz saying, well, we can't see what he's saying. He's a member for 6 months, and he says, good morning, Walt and Runway DFW family. Been a crazy few days here in Houston. Can't believe it's been half a year being part of an awesome channel. Thank you, Curtis. And I hope all is well with you and your friends and loved ones as far as any impact that storm may have had on you. Because it's, they've had been a lot of power outages. In fact, yesterday, I was driving north on Interstate 35 because I had to get a battery for my tractor because I was trying to roll out the old John Deere after it being parked for the winter, and yeah, it needed a new battery. So I'm driving up 35 north, and then on going southbound, I saw a convoy of utility vehicles. I believe most of them are from OG&E, which is an Oklahoma utility company. And I didn't count them, but there must have been like 100. I mean, it just went on, and you know, they were all going to help out in Houston. That was American Eagle Flight 3596 from Missoula, Montana. And we have a wide body coming in from Miami next. It's a 787-800 Dreamliner. 787-8 Dreamliner, I should say. American Flight 1465 coming in from South Florida. So the big Dreamliner touches down. We seem to have now gone for an hour without, well, we've had a couple of little glitches here and there as far as our display of messages go, but otherwise we haven't burned down yet. So let's keep going here on Runway DFW. You're watching Runway DFW live and in color from Dallas-Fort Worth International Airport in Texas. We come to you from the friendly confines of Founders Plaza, the official plane spotting spot for plane spotters. And thank you for joining us. If you're just tuning in, well, you are watching Aviation in action. Sometimes it's aviation in action, and sometimes it's aviation in action. But right now we have some action. This is the only flight we have from here, and the only passenger flight that goes to China. This is American Airlines Flight 127. It's a 787-8 Dreamliner, and it's on its way to Shanghai. So that's a pretty classy way to start the top of the hour. Just after 10 a.m. on a Sunday morning, the 19th of May. here in the central time zone of the USA. We would anticipate, because of the fuel load on this plane, that it will have a nice leisurely liftoff. As you see in the background there, a Sun Country plane on its way to Cancun. So here's this Sun Country plane. It's flight 511 going to Cancun. It's a 737-800. It's a turn-of-the-century plane dating back to the year 2001.
I don't have a YouTube. This is Runway DFW. Yep. So, I mean, if you went on YouTube and search after the type plane spotting in the laundry list, you'd be scrolling down for half an hour, probably. That's how many I mean, 2020 when I wasn't working for 100 days.
A lot of weather talk going on in the chat room right now. Beve says hello to Farid Abed, who's still hanging out with Walt. There he is in the foreground of that shot. It's American Flight 1112 coming in from Phoenix, Arizona.
At the end of the day,
An Airbus A321.
now, I know this. My home airport's so back anywhere the realm of busy. This is the second busiest airport. Oh yeah, he's got his jet, he's got one camera, he's got
Okay, I think we've got a... What do we got here? I believe that's it's American Flight 539 off to Belize City.
Something about back to Cleveland tonight for the grand race. Good luck. Take care of yourself. Yep.
Safe travels.
American 1112 Whiskey Lima, crossway left 85 near side, head today. Crossway left Whiskey Lima, 25 American 1112.
And I'd say it's getting a little bit, the clarity is decreasing a little bit as we go through the morning, but it's not as bad as as the worst that I've seen it, that's for sure. It's American Flight 2525. Touching down from Salt Lake City. Airbus A321. In about a minute, we'll see Volaris Flight 1800 coming in from Guadalajara after just more than 2-hour flight on an Airbus A321-200. But it's not within our sights quite yet. Curtis says, so Walt, how about those Dallas Mavs? Hope they play Denver. You know, Curtis, as I've mentioned here on the channel before, I'm not the most sportsy of guys, and I knew the Mavericks were in the playoffs, but I really didn't know, I don't know who they were playing or how they're doing, but I guess they're doing okay, so that's good. I think the Dallas Stars have also been doing okay, so. Mary Crazy Frog 1776 says hello. Arya's World says, see if this comment pops up on the screen. I guess it did. And Curtis says, I don't see any American retros this morning yet. Well, we did have one earlier. In fact, it was one of our first flights. It was the Piedmont or Allegheny? I think it was the Piedmont livery. One of my faves. And we're due to see the the PSA livery at some point during our broadcast, although I can't remember. I think it might be a flight that would typically come in on the east side of the airport. Here's the Volaris flight from Guadalajara. And taking off there was American Flight 1097 to San Luis Potosi in Mexico. There you see American Eagle 3836 and Embraer 175 going to Kalispell, Montana. And parked over there is an American jet on the taxiway between runways 18 left and right. I'm suspecting that it's not on the radar currently, or is that? Okay, yes, that's American Flight 672 to San Francisco, and it's once again waiting for its turn to take off because of, I guess, slot restrictions. Or I guess it could be weather, too. Incoming from Austin, American Flight 1595. Just a few puffy white clouds in the sky this morning. Nothing so severe as to block the sun. I could swear we just had an American plane coming in from Austin, but here's an American Eagle plane coming in from Austin. An Embraer 175 flight 3838. We have another membership milestone from Hans Olav Mork. And I'll have to read it to you because it doesn't come in on our display here. It says, Walt, Frontier is my favorite airline in the USA. So we'll try to not avoid those for you, Hans. Thank you very much. And thank you for being a member for so many months. Mr. Phil 63 checking in. Hello, Mr. Phil. And Fareed says, I've returned to my car after talking to someone wanting to know what Walt was doing. Well, thank you for filling him in, Fareed. Yeah, it is starting to get a little oppressive out here, I would say. And we have no shade in our way. Here once again is that American Airlines Airbus A321 waiting its turn. Here comes American Flight 1412 from Ontario, California. It's an Airbus A321. And not far behind it, this plane will have to get off the main runway here is United Flight 1254 from Denver, 787-900. So here comes the United Jet, 11 years old is this one. It left the Smile High City an hour and 22 minutes ago. It's a flight of about 555 miles, it says here. And this flight coming in a full half hour early. So that's pretty good if you're a passenger, I would say. American 2721 to Tucson is an Airbus A321. There it goes. American Eagle 3153 from Idaho Falls, CRJ 701. And the flights are starting to accumulate at the north end of runway 18 left, takeoff runway. We've got for your aviation appreciation an Airbus A321neo. It's American flight 1919 on final from Las Vegas. There you see American Flight 1327 off to San Antonio, Texas, an Airbus A321. We're going to take a look, though, at a smaller plane. This is the Denver Air Connection. It's an Embraer 145, arriving from the metropolis of Clovis, New Mexico, with its colorful green and white livery. And if you do have to make the Denver Air Connection, you got to go through Clovis on this airline from here. If I'm not mistaken, Denver Air Connection provides gets a subsidy for its air service to smaller towns and cities, connect them to bigger airports. Wind is picking up just a tad. I'm trying not to miss anything here. I'm on a different setup than I usually am, and so I apologize. I think I did Hans's milestone. Oh no, I didn't see this one. Okay, let me see if I can get this. There was a super chat here, and I definitely don't mean to miss that. Here we go from MVHSM, a $5 super chat. Walt, happy Sunday. I know it's more than a month away, but might you do a July 4th stream like last year? I wish I could plan out that far ahead in advance. I don't even know what day of the week the July 4th is yet. But you know, it's certainly on our list of things to do. And generally speaking, because it's a long July 4th weekend and there's lots of celebrations on various days of the weekend, whenever we get on the air, we'll probably see some fireworks. There's that San Francisco flight, which has been delayed for a bit. We were watching it on the, just kind of parked out there. But now it's finally gotten the green light, the checkered flag. Well, not the checkered flag, that's when you win the race. This is a flight which was scheduled to depart at 8:33 this morning. So it's almost 2 hours late. And even after it left the terminal, it had to wait, seems like for about a half hour or so before it was cleared for takeoff. So I hope you guys weren't counting on a connection in the city adjacent to the bay.
I'm sorry, American 2187 over that line of 21 plus. Hey, sir, 2187, 2187, wave left line of 2187, line of 21.
Okay, and I also didn't see Skittles' membership milestone, which is an important one because it's 12 months. And unfortunately, I can't display it because our system is not being cooperative. So I'll read it. Skittles says, and she's a quad jet member, by the way, says, "Oh my heavens, Walt and Maud's a solid year of getting to watch your dedication, organization, and creativity as you showcase your impressive airport off to the world. How lucky are we?" Thank you. Well, how lucky am I to have viewers like you? So thank you. And our friend 757 Chip is checking in. And I'm trying to find... Well, Chip sent a $3 super chat, and I thank you for that, Chip. I can't, for some reason, I'm unable to display anything other than your name and your icon there. So I'm trying to keep up with everything, but again, I'm operating with a little different system this morning, which is a little bit less user-friendly than what I normally have available to me. And that is in order to try to keep our broadcast on the air in hot temperatures. Jethead says, "Morning, Walton viewers. Does American Airlines operate the MD-80s anymore?" No. I think they unloaded those at the end of the teens. In the foreground, you're seeing American Flight 2087, an Airbus A319 going to San Luis Obispo, California. In the background, American Flight 281, that is a 7879 Dreamliner, which is just about ready to take off to Seoul, South Korea. And that's one of those flights that the Seoul flight is one that does avoid airspace in Russia. Now, when I flew to Seoul in 2016 on American from here, we did cross over into Russian airspace, but that is no longer the case. Mike Cruz with a very nice $7.47 super chat says, your stream and also Pips have inspired me to get over to Founders Plaza with my camera. Maybe I'll see you there soon. Mike, stop by and say hello if you're here when we're here. Daryl Ann Monroe says, Walt, hi Walt, how are you doing today? Making curry for dinner tonight. It's dark here already, 5:30 p.m. at your location. So that sounds yummy. So here goes the big Dreamliner, headed out to Seoul. As a stray cloud mercifully shields us from the blazing sun here for a moment or two. So there it goes, off to begin a very long flight across the Pacific. I'd like to thank Heath Shelton, whose name you see here, but whose largesse is not represented, but it says here he is gifted 5 Runway DFW memberships. So thank you, Heath, for that. And Luke, the random spotter, says welcome to all of our new members. Thank you, Luke. And Landis McGowie says, Heath Shelton, you rock. And Heath, ever the modest type, says, it's my pleasure, with a bow. Here comes a flight from Fresno. It's flight 2653, an Airbus A321. Let's do a little pan around here on at Founders Plaza. Not too busy yet as far as parked cars and such, but it'll fill out as the afternoon goes on, I would think. Founders Plaza on the northwest side of the airport. It's free. And despite what you might read on Google, it's open 24 hours a day. Now this is interesting. If I can find it in the sky here. We've got a Sun Country plane. Flight 8758 coming in from Dallas Love Field, where it left 15 minutes ago. So that is not something you see every day. So 737-800. Just making the short jaunt over from Dallas Love Field to the east of here. It's landing over on the east side of DFW. Is it a new service? A new shuttle service? I don't think so. Just made a little loop-de-loop and came over here from Love Field. Let's see what we got there. That's flight 2944. Off to Boise, Idaho. An Airbus A321. We've got coming in now from Reno, Nevada. A 737-800, American Airlines Flight 1361. Getting a bit crowded over there again. Joey Chan says, good morning, Walt. And Mods, thank you, Joey. Oh, and everyone, so not going to exclude anybody there. Landis McGowie says, gosh, the haze looks like you could cut it. Yeah, it does kind of look that way. Skittles says, if I was on that flight, that Sun Country flight from Dallas Love Field, I would demand peanuts. I'm only kidding, of course. They'd barely have time to get strapped in there. If there were any passengers aboard. And Pittsburgh Don 77 says, that would be like flying from O'Hare to Midway. Indeed. And Skittle says, looks a little toasty, the temps in Dallas. Yeah, the temperature is not terrible right now. The airport is reporting 82 degrees, which, you know, is like nothing in Dallas. But, you know, added to the humidity. At least we got a little breeze coming from the south, so that's not too bad. I think we need to do this over again, don't we? Here we go. Let's push that button. Push this button. 1998. All right. It's a 20th century Airbus A319. American Airlines Flight 1161 arriving from San Luis Obispo, California. And you saw taking off there to Chihuahua, Mexico, American Eagle Flight 3928. Pittsburgh Don, we're putting your name up there. I can't show you what you just did here, but I can tell everybody that you gifted a Runway DFW membership. So thank you for that, Don. Skittle said, do you know that I had a very difficult time there the moment I landed at DFW? I'm asthmatic, and the heat, humidity, and the slightly higher elevation than sea level made it hard for me to breathe. Wow. Well, I'm glad you survived your trip to DFW, Skittles. And again, I'm sorry I wasn't able to come out and greet you in person. That was American Flight 1107 arriving from El Paso, 737-800. Well, we've had pretty good time so far of things happening. We've gone for an hour and 46 minutes. Says here we haven't dropped a frame, which in streaming talk is good. American Eagle 3215 is on final now from Santa Fe, New Mexico. It's a CRJ 701ER.
I'm going to have to move you guys out of the way. I got 3 behind you. 138, I need to run after Laren, runway 18 left, take off. 20 left, take off, on that Laren. I'm 138, 43, go up to Whiskey Dog. Whiskey Dog, 25, Whiskey Dog.
Roger Scott says, good morning, Walt, mods, and all. You're looking good. Thank you, Roger. I might have mentioned that the wind is kind of picking up a little bit. It makes for a little nice breeze here as we watch another CRJ 701 coming in from, this time from Flagstaff, Arizona, American Eagle 3272. Next up from Bakersfield.
777 or the Airbus A380s coming?
A380 comes usually late afternoon.
Okay. And is there any 777s coming in the next 10 minutes?
Next 10 minutes, I don't see any in the immediate future here.
Alright. Keep an eye out. Yeah.
Yep. We do have a Cathay Pacific Cargo 747 scheduled in. It looks like the current arrival time is about 12 minutes after 11, so about 20 minutes away from our first 747 of the day. We have well, there's an Asiana 747 scheduled from Chicago, but it's not in flight currently, so I don't think we'll be seeing that. because that one was supposed to arrive at about 11:30. And were it to be arriving at 11:30, it would definitely be in the air by now, and I don't see it in the air. That was flight 1055, American Airlines from San Diego, California, and Airbus A321. Over yonder, American flight 2667 to Los Cabos, an Airbus A321. Saw 777 there making its way over to the hangar area. Here comes a flight from Eugene, Oregon. And I think you may have also seen, as we kind of passed by it there, the tail of the Japan Airlines plane, which will be going back to Tokyo. I don't know what they're flying in here. I know Japan Airlines did start flying the A350-1000, but I don't believe they've got enough of them to do that on a daily basis, and I can't tell. I can't see. That's a little too fuzzy for me to be able to tell what plane that is. Here goes American Flight 1711. It's an Airbus A321 Neo, and it's going to the City of Angels, Los Angeles, where normally on a Sunday it would be destined to be seen by the viewers of Airline Videos Live, but not today because our AVL pals Kevin and Rudy are out in sunny Honolulu. Oh, we hope it's sunny. So, having set this broadcast up as kind of a preamble to their transmission, we will, as a courtesy, sign off when they fire up, so you won't miss a thing. Japan Airlines Flight 11 is scheduled to go off at 11:15. I don't see what type of airplane it is, though, however. Just about to take off now is American Eagle 3898 to Lubbock, Texas. It's Embraer 175.
Takeoff, 727. 2385, 2020 left on wheel.
Mark Johnstone says hi. Hello to you, Mark. Pittsburgh Don says 302 people watching, but 239 likes. Come on, people, hit that like button. Trying to get a bird. He had a very colorful something in his beak. I hope it was something that was edible. Looking like American Flight 2264 to Santa Ana, California, 737-800 is lining up to be taking off.
Left line up the way to American 453. Good afternoon, American 2385. 453 on that land, only 181 for takeoff. On that land, landing left, let me take off American 453.
We saw this plane coming in just a bit ago, the Spirit birthday cake livery, Flight 1271. This is headed out to Las Vegas. It's an Airbus A320-200, a 9-year-old plane. Not in the familiar, or the now familiar, banana livery. Sebastian's Cars, Planes, Trucks, and More says, hello, Walt, and hello to you. And Aero Vista says, I'm spotting at the same spot. Well, not the exact same spot, of course.
Runway 603 is with you just outside Debbie for 1 right. Clear to land, 1 right, hold short Bravo, American 603.
I'm trying to adjust my headgear here. So we got a clearance for takeoff here.
Echo Alpha, short of it. Taking left line 42.
There's got an Airbus A321 arriving from Sacramento, California. Flight 1544 is this one. Days like this that I know why we created our After Dark broadcasts, because it's a lot more pleasant here at night than it is in the daytime sometimes. We would normally, on a Sunday afternoon morning stream, well, afternoon stream, we'd normally park ourselves over here under this shade structure, but it's been a couple months now since the shade part of it blew away or was removed. I don't know which, but we got here one day and it wasn't there anymore, and it hasn't been replaced. So it's an American 737-800 arriving from San Antonio, Texas, flight 603. And I would say it's probably about time for something like this. You're watching Runway DFW live and in color from Dallas-Fort Worth International Airport. My name is Walt, and I'll be hanging out with you for another few hours here. Our plan is to be there, and there's Fareed there on the right-hand side of the screen. Our plan is to be here till about 1 o'clock Central Time, when we will relinquish the airwaves to our plane spotting brethren, Kevin and Rudy, at Airline Videos Live. Today, coming to you with their big Sunday show from Honolulu. Aloha. Flight 654 arriving from Las Vegas, 737-800. Rock says, "Hi Walt, thanks for the great broadcast. Stay cool. I can tell you, Mrs. Rocky and I really enjoy the After Dark broadcasts. Watching this morning from Rochester, New York." So thank you, Rock. Landis favors the this other Spirit livery that we showed you a little earlier. Likes it better than the banana. I have to tell you though, on a gray day, those yellow banana liveries really stand out. The Aviation channel says, "Good morning, Walt. Good morning to you." And I see our friend Michelle RS in the house there. Hello to you, Michelle. So we should have coming up in this quarter hour. You headed out there?
No, I'm heading out.
Well, let me.
The first goal, and then got a couple other things to do before I head back home.
You know what I meant to ask you?
What's up?
Am I pronouncing your name correctly?
How are you pronouncing it? Remind me.
Faridabad? Yes? Okay, I just want to make sure.
That's perfect.
Okay, well, good.
Nice meeting you.
So good to see you.
So good to see you too.
I can't remember. Are you going to be at
I'm not going
Dark Fest? No?
No, I can't get that time.
That's right.
Of course I'll be watching.
Well, I hope to see you again soon.
You got it, Walt.
Thank you. That's Faridabad. Going back to Cleveland today. Safe travels to you. Sorry, we'll do that again later. That was our credits. We played that earlier. I think I'll play it again before we go off the air. I believe this little American Eagle plane coming in from San Angelo, Texas. Yes, flight 6188, CRJ 701 ER. And that plane needs to scoot off the runway in order that we might bring you the arrival of flight 2811 from Los Angeles, California. It's an Airbus A321 of the Neo variety. Neo, of course, standing for New Engine Option. Another A321 is coming in behind that. American Flight 2748. Who do we appreciate from Phoenix? Now, we're going to see if we can get you any of this flight. The 747, which we were hoping to bring you. This is Cathay Pacific Cargo. Is coming in on runway 13 right. So unless we can pick it out of the sky, there it is there. Oh, we just missed it. So let's see how low or how high in the sky it is before it gets too low for us to see. It's a 747-400 coming in from Anchorage. And, yeah, darn it. I would think we'd see a little bit of it there, but no, I guess regrettably we're not going to be able to bring that to you. We'll see it a little bit after it makes the turn, but yeah, that's I guess where we would have been able to see it, but I guess it just gets too low in the sky. Runway 13 right is a diagonal runway that goes from northwest to southeast, and it's just kind of out of our sight here. I caught a very brief glimpse of it with my eye. I don't know if the camera was able to catch up with it or not, though. So we'll see it taxiing a little later, but unfortunately that 747 was out of our viewpoint. So as a consolation prize for you, the Runway DFW viewer, how about a 7879 Dreamliner off to Kahului? It's American Flight 119. Well, while we wait for this to take off, let's capture the arrival of Flight 402 from San Francisco. It's Airbus A321. Waiting to take off to Hawaii. Rock with a shout out for Bev and Random Spotter, saying thank you for your work as mods, the engines that fly Walt's planes. Yes. Have to say, the channel doesn't really work without mods. And the better your mods, the better the channel. And I have to say that we have lucked into some really, really good moderators. It's just a nice place to hang out. And I give all credit to them. Still waiting for the Maui flight to go out. So let us pull out a little bit. We'll watch an E-jet coming in from Abilene, Texas. Flight 4039, American Eagle. And you know, I must have gotten sidetracked here because I think the 747 snuck in without our observation, the Cathay Pacific. So when is this plane going to get to go out? So picture yourself there, you're on a big jumbo jet ready to go out to a nice vacation in Hawaii, and you're just kind of sitting there on the tarmac in Dallas. This is one of those jobs where, well, it's not a job really, but when it's a day like this, especially a hazy day, I wish I could wear sunglasses. The problem is, well, my sunglasses are polarized, and some of the screens, it just blacks them out. In fact, I once tried setting up the equipment wearing my sunglasses, and I thought my monitor wasn't working because I couldn't see a picture on it. And I finally took off my glasses and I said, oh, that's where it is. I guess I could get some clip-on, because I do wear prescription glasses. I guess I could wear some clip-on, non-polarized sunglasses, I guess. Where'd that flight go? Did I miss it? Oh, there it is. It's American Eagle Flight 3940, one of those Embraer 175s, coming in from Killeen, Texas after a grueling 37-minute flight. Family lined up against the seemingly permanent temporary fence. Still waiting for this flight to Hawaii to say hello, aloha. Landis McGowie with a $10 super chat. Thank you, Landis. Can't tell a CRJ 100 from a B717, from an MD80, from a DC9, but I love the tail burners. Thank you, Landis, for that very kind super chat. That's a little slow right at the moment. Another regional jet on approach. This one from Waco, Texas. American Eagle Flight 4819, CRJ 701ER. One of your shorter flights here, that one being just 30 minutes in duration. Well, we're about to flip around and watch a Delta plane come in. This is a an Airbus A220. Coming from Salt Lake City. Flight 1329.
Okay, cross one left and taxi left on Echo 919
Well, finally, the big Dreamliner is getting ready to be on its way to Hawaii. To the relief of its passengers. Hesitant to say, is this going back to the terminal? As you see, the Japan Airlines A350-1000 now making its way to the takeoff position. But yeah, I think this plane is this is not on the runway. This is going. Is it? No. Yes, this is on the taxiway. So it appears that a plane load of disappointment is going on there, because this plane is apparently going back to the terminal. The Streamliner, which was set to go to Maui, is kind of limping its way back to the terminal. So sorry for those passengers. At least that's the impression we're getting. Now there's the Japan Airlines A350-1000. We saw that very aircraft make its debut here a few weeks back. This is the one, I believe there's only one, which has this paint job. If I remember right, this is a plane which was delivered in November. And a handsome aircraft it is. Qatar Airways also flies its A350-1000s here. In fact, we saw one earlier this morning. So this is going to Haneda Airport in Tokyo. So sayonara to that aircraft. And you might have seen on the way, as we were watching that go off, you might have seen that that American Dreamliner, which was not able to take off to Maui. And we now have a motorcycle contingent going through. Yes, we have a lot of we have like a, I don't want to say it's a motorcycle gang. Maybe it's a motorcycle club, which has come to pay us a visit. They're kind of circling around. So we'll circle around the plaza for our two-wheeled friends. We had somebody chiming in with a to express their appreciation for Frontier Airlines, and there's a representative right there. It's flight 2631 with Hamburg, the California Condor, on the tail. Try to get you a little better view of the tail. It's still, we're getting blown around by the wind here. We're still kind of backlit. The sun is definitely higher in the sky now than it was earlier. And Aero Vista says, what happened to the American 787? Don't really know. Wish I could tell you. So as far as the destination for that Frontier flight, it's not showing up here on Flight Radar 24. So we will wish it well wherever it may be winding up.
Ready to go. 3983, which means Kilo, hold short 1 enough. Only 3983, transfer hold the position, which Kilo, cross 1 enough, now ground 185 feet. Kilo, cross 1 enough, ground 185 on the other side on the 3983. Down 3915, transfer hold the position, actually Alpha, cross 1 and left over the bridge, ground 165 on top.
That is American Eagle Flight 3320 going to Montrose, Colorado, number 175. And here comes American Flight 2535, an Airbus A321 from San Diego, California.
20 yard end, B Park 1 left, clear takeoff. B Park 1 left, clear takeoff, on my 320. Good 504, 1 left, 5 1.
20 left, line up away on my base,
Robbie Batista says hello, everybody. And Walt. How about a flight coming in from Oaxaca in Mexico? Well, there you have it. American 2187, it's an Airbus A320. Well, there's the yellow Spirit livery that we've become so familiar with. That plane will be going to Los Angeles shortly. It's an Airbus A320. But next for takeoff is United Flight 445 to Denver, Colorado. It's an Airbus A319. Entering your view screen momentarily there. Here it is. In the older livery with the golden continental globe on the tail. Our friend A Few Trains At says not far off from 300 likes. Let's keep it going. I would not be opposed to that. I'm sure you've heard it said that likes help propel a channel to higher visibility here on YouTube. So it does help, and it is free. And we hope you'll consider subscribing to the channel, which is also free, and that does give you entree into the chat room. What have we there? Did we miss that? That came in over on the east side from Chicago. There's our second 747 of the day, which we didn't do a very good job of bringing you because of things. This is Asiana Cargo 747-400. And we need to dial up a salute here.
1992.
Because that's one of your older 747s that we see nowadays. And we don't know what the future of that plane's going to be because Asiana has promised to divest itself of its cargo operations as part of its scheme to merge with Korean Air. So what is to become of the fleet of Asiana 747 cargos? This came in from Chicago and it arrived over on the east side of the airfield, so we didn't get to see it land. We would have tried to get at least a glimpse of it, but it escaped my attention. And you can see there the heat haze is starting to take hold. It somehow makes the majesty of the 747, does not diminish the majesty of it. And look at this. It's our poster. You know, I try to put a plane in the poster which we have a reasonable chance of seeing, but I really didn't think we were going to see this one today. Eva Air Cargo 777 cargo plane coming in from Anchorage. Let's get a little final glimpse of this majestic Asiana 747. That Eva Air Cargo, which we'll see again in, we'll pan over to that in a minute after we get a look at this. That's just a 2-year-old plane. Built as a freighter, not as a passenger plane, and later converted. Makes the turn to go into the cargo area. Keith Holloway boasting that I was the 300th light. Good morning, Walton, everyone. Thank you, Keith. There's that Eva Air Cargo 777 right behind it. Going to, generally speaking, the same place. A few trains out says I was watching the Music of Runway DFW video earlier. You can watch that if you remember. Yes, you have to be a member to see that. And our great moderator, Ms. Wolves 13, says 300 likes. Thank you all very much. And I add my Thanks to everybody. Did that Asiana get stuck? Hasn't fully entered the cargo area yet. And there doesn't appear to be anything else to be looking at right now. Well, we've got this. Look at this here. Oops. There's the Denver Air Connection. The Embraer 145 we saw coming in earlier. It's headed back out, I presume, to Clovis, New Mexico, from whence it cometh. And we lost it. All right, let's see if we can catch a glimpse of the Eva Air Cargo turning into the terminal, the cargo area yonder. As I polish off the rest of my first bottle of water. Something tells me they must be doing a little bit of shuffling around in the cargo area to accommodate these two wide bodies that just arrived, the 747 and this one, the 777. This Texas sun will take it out of you, I have to say. I do hope that our friends Kevin and Rudy will be well equipped for their day in the Honolulu sun, starting up in a little more than an hour from now. Kevin tends to go on a little early sometimes. And I did see Kevin and Rudy sporting their bespoke AVL Hawaiian shirts. I haven't checked. Are those for sale in their shop yet?
Tower, good afternoon, Airline 1186 ready, departure. Listen, 1186 ready? Yes, sir, we're ready. Okay, we'll make it 1186. So keep on up there on that 2 Lauren, 1 left. Alright, 3 left, on that Lauren.
That is, or would be, if we had it in frame there. American Flight 1186. It's an Airbus A319 going to Austin, Texas, the capital of the state. Turn of the century plane dating back to the year 2000. But yes, to get jingled here on Runway DFW, you must be a plane that was built in the 20th century. We don't have any exceptions. Beve says, yes, the AVL Honolulu shirts are for sale, and they're lovely. I would think nothing less. Kevin has quality merchandise over there at AVL. All right, here goes the flight to Austin, Texas. Here on Runway DFW on this Sunday, late Sunday morning. From Dallas-Fort Worth International Airport, coming to you from our perch overlooking runways 18 left and 18 right at DFW Airport. Need to check our batteries here in a minute. So far, except for a few little glitches with our chats, I think we're holding out all right. Let's see, that's batteries at 100%. That battery's at 54%. That battery's at 84%. That one I can't see because it's too sunny. I think we're doing okay, battery-wise. Sarah, the real deal, says, hey there. Hi, Walt Mods and friends. Hello, Sarah. It was such a pleasure having you be able to hang out with us earlier this week. Hope you had a safe trip back to Boston. Oh, yes, we have merch too. There's the link that is so thoughtfully provided by Beve. Streamlabs.com/runwaydfw/merch if you want to add the rest of it, but I think you can get there with just streamlabs.com/runwaydfw. I'm not wearing my official Runway DFW hat today. If only because I need the extra protection of ear flaps. See the wind's wobbling around our sign-mounted camera. And it's blowing around our tripod-mounted camera as we watch this flight to Las Vegas take flight. American Flight 599 in Airbus A321 Neo.
353456, tower 18 right, clear to land, wind 160 at 13. Airline 1 direct, 27, thank you, Mark. 27, thank you, take the high speed to Whiskey Lima, and then at Whiskey Lima, cross 18 left, ground 25. At Whiskey Lima, cross 1 left, ground 27, I got tower American 31 heavy, about going up 5 out of 10. Thank you, tower 18 right, clear to land, wind 160 at 14. Clear to land, 18 right, let's take 1 heavy, 90.
American Flight 51 is coming in from London Heathrow. That'll be a 777-300ER, and that will be here in about 3 minutes. Got a couple of planes ahead of it, including this one, this American Eagle flight from Springfield. In Embraer 175. Then right behind that, we've got Frontier Flight 3456. That's easy to remember. And that is going to be sporting the America's Green Airline livery. With, it looks like an eagle on the tail. So let's see if we can pick this one out of the sky. Here comes America's Green Airline. Then right behind that will be the American 777 from London. This again coming in from Las Vegas. So a plane coming in a little early. It was scheduled for 12:12. So that is always good to be a passenger on an early flight. And now, let us get the big 777 in our sights. Once again, coming in from London. Flight 51. And that plane similarly coming in about 50 minutes, almost an hour early. Even though it left London about 20 minutes, 25 minutes late. So good for that. It's a 10-year-old 777-300ER. You know, that's not the song I wanted. Let me try another one here. Let's see here. What about this one? Oh, that's a little more like it. You're watching Runway DFW live and in color from Dallas-Fort Worth International Airport here on Sunday, May 19th, 2024. My name is Walt, and we are coming to you live and direct from the friendly confines of Dallas-Fort Worth International Airport Founders Plaza. We'll be here with you for most of the next hour or so. I don't think we'll have a chat extravaganza today because we're going to try to do some planes up until the last minute when Kevin and Rudy, we switch over to them in Hawaii. So thanks for watching Runway DFW. What's happening? Let's see here. There is American Flight 1905. It's going to Cedar Rapids, Iowa. That's a 24-year-old Airbus A320-200. And here comes American Eagle Flight 3661. 3661, pardon. Arriving from Louisville on an Airbus. Oh, sorry, on an Embraer 175. Let's give you the temps here at 88 degrees, and it says cloudy. I would say mostly sunny, but that's just me. Wind coming out of the south at 18 miles an hour. And of course that temperature is in Fahrenheit, as we are wont to say here in the USA. No planes on the takeoff patch over there. We've got American Flight 3352, American Eagle Flight 3352 coming in from Kansas City. It's another E-Jet.
King, your 312 Romeo Lima is ready when you left.
Romeo Lima on departure to the right, heading 240, by maintaining 2000, 18 left, clear for takeoff.
240, down, 18 left, clear for takeoff. Your 312 Romeo Lima.
Let's see a little Beech 300 Super King Air 350. There it is. Not a very big plane. This one is off to Corpus Christi, it says here. Pretty big little plane, twin engine. A lot of windows there. I'm gonna say it could seat a dozen people, maybe more.
Taxiway with Kilo, cross 1 left, ground 185. Cross 1 left with Kilo, ground 85. Here's 2 Romeo Lima, comment park, good.
2 Romeo Lima, switching, good day, sir.
So a couple minutes late on this, but Luke says it's top of the hour, 12 noon Central Time in North Texas, and do you know where your family is? Hopefully they're here watching Runway DFW with you, then moving over to see AVL and HNL after we end. And that is the plan. Thank you, Luke. Caroline Smale with the musical question, are you at 18 right? That is the closest runway to us, yes. 18 right is the landing runway. We can see 18 left very clearly too, a little further away. That's the takeoff runway. And Beve chimes in with, yes, the plaza is at the north end, and I'll clarify that the north end of the west side of the airport. It's a little hard to find. It's not very well signed, I would have to say, but if you've got Google Maps or Apple Maps or some kind of map app, you should have no problems finding it. If you are inclined to come out and see us. I'll be here for, well, we'll be on the air for a little less than an hour now. At least that's the plan. When we'll give way to our pals Kevin and Rudy for their very special Sunday Spectacular from Honolulu. Just taking a little breather here, I guess. We have some action on 18 left now. That's American Flight 2078 going to Sacramento, California, in Airbus A321. As I break out my second bottle of icy water here. I'll leave that in the cooler to stay cool. It's nice when it's icy. As we get ready for this plane to take off, we've got American Flight 1667 on short final from Seattle. That'll be an Airbus A321. I don't see it yet. I see it on the radar, but not with my eyeballs yet. Now, if you are new to Runway DFW, I would like to welcome you. And if you're wondering why there's so many American Airlines and American Eagle planes, well, it's simply because this is the home base of American Airlines. Their headquarters just a stone's throw from here in Fort Worth. There are 5 terminals here currently. American has full control over 3 of them, and they also have operations at the other 2. American Flight 61 to Narita Airport in Tokyo is making its way to the takeoff position. There it is there. It's a 777-200 ER. And here comes Flight 1667 from Seattle. It's an Airbus A321neo.
American 61 heavy is Star 18 left on S2 speed park, clear to takeoff.
Yeah, speed park, lift, takeoff, 18 left there, 61 heavy.
So I think the flight to Narita has already been cleared for takeoff. So all it's got to do is make a U-turn here and it'll be off. Luke, the random spotter says birthday. Did I see birthday? Did Walt see birthday? I don't think I did. Let me go back and check after we get this plane dispatched. We need to take care of our birthdays.
American 1667, taxiway Alpha, cross 18 left, ground point straight across the top of the bridge. Direct 61 heavy, time park today.
American 61 heavy, today.
And it is quiet once again, but only momentarily. Got a couple of inbound planes now. American Eagle 3197 from Wichita, Kansas. It'll be a CRJ 701ER. And that will be followed by American Flight 814. 737-800 from Austin, Texas. Here on a Sunday edition of Runway DFW. Am I sounding a little parched? I think I am. Don't worry, I have water. Whoa. Just a bit of a side-to-side motion there at the end. All right, let me get this other plane coming in from Austin, and then we'll take care of our birthday segment. Once again, Flight 814 from the Texas capital city, 737-800. When that nose went up there, I thought we were almost going to have a tail strike. I'm sure we weren't, it wasn't that close, but the thought did enter my mind. All right, well, birthday you say, huh? Let us push the button here. Well, to everybody who's had a birthday this past week, today, or next week even, happy birthday to you from Runway DFW. That includes my son, Colin, over there in Seoul. Happy birthday to you. So it looks like among our viewers, Caroline Smith is a birthday gal. And so if I missed anybody, I apologize, but happy birthday to everyone. Kiwi Whisperer says, it's hot out there, Walt. I couldn't do it. Well, and Super 80 Swiss Air urging hydration. Well, yes, I'm on my second bottle of water. I'm keeping this one in the cooler until I want to take a sip, so it'll stay nice and icy cold. But let me get another sip right now. Turn down the volume so you don't hear me slurping.
RNAV B Park 18 left, clear for takeoff, Sun Country 502.
That's good water. Okay. Sun Country is here. Did I not see it there? Oh, yeah. I was looking, I have two screens. I have a playback, or I have the YouTube stream on one of my iPads here. And so I was looking at that, saying Sun Country, but you had already seen it, I think. This flight's going to Minneapolis, St. Paul with, what do they call this? The Tide Pod livery. It's a 737-800, 9 years old. And I believe we see a large aircraft getting ready to take off behind it. We'll check in with that in just a minute. Here on Runway DFW as we count down till we see Kevin and Rudy pop up. Oh, there's Korean Air, so we've got some foreign or some wide bodies going out. Sun Country's off. You see United aircraft in the foreground just coming in from Denver. That's an Airbus A319. And we'll turn our attention now to this big old jet. This is American Flight 115, a 777-200ER, and guess where it's going? It's going to Honolulu to visit Kevin and Rudy. Now, I don't know how long they're going to be on the air today. Maybe they'll get to see this before they go off. I mean, I don't know if they're planning a typical Sunday length broadcast from Honolulu, given the fact that they're working remotely. But yeah, it's on its way to you, Kevin and Rudy.
Clear for takeoff, 18 left, RNAV Park, American 115 heavy.
And then coming up, Korean Air Flight 32 to Seoul. That'll be a 7879 Dreamliner. So there's the flight to Honolulu, posing for pictures. Here we go. So aloha to flight 115. And here now is the Korean Air flight coming in, or headed out to Seoul. It's a 7-year-old 7879 Dreamliner.
clear to 7477, heavy beam for the ground, runway 18 right for the line, 1170, 13.
7 Alliance, over 7477. Wind condition?
Wind 170, 13.
Southwest 7013.
That's 1382, that's whiskey lane, runway 18 left, contact left, 185.
Whiskey Lima, crossway left, 185, right, building 8.
Grand Air 032, heavy contact 4.
Contact departure, Grand Air 032.
So, to Seoul it goes. American Flight 1945 is about ready to lift off the runway to Reno, Nevada, 737-800. But you know what, we're gonna deviate from that a bit because we're gonna get to see our first 747 of the afternoon actually landing here. We missed two. One landed on the other side of the airport and one landed on the on an alternate runway over on this side of the airport. But this one we get to see. It's, well, I think if it comes into focus. Here we go. This is Suparna Airlines coming in from Anchorage. It's cargo. Left 5 hours and 35 minutes ago. It's a 747-400, 16 years old. Suparna from China. So it was a nice little surprise. I didn't see that one listed as I was kind of glancing at incoming flights today. Wind now coming in at 18 miles an hour out of the south. We're looking directly south now. This plane will turn around and face us as it heads into the taxis over to the cargo area. Jin says, great looking queen. Two Trains app says the landing was wobble-tastic. And Gina M says, ooh, Hainan-esque. I think there's some relationship between this airline and Hainan. Donnie White asking earlier, where are the Jumbos and the King? Well, there's a Jumbo for you. We will not be here to see the King later this afternoon. We only see one. That's the British Airways Speedbird A380 coming in from London. Comes in around, I guess, 5-ish. And we'll be off the air in just a little bit. Got to swing around now for another large aircraft coming in. This one from Amsterdam. It's American Airlines Flight 221, 787-8 Dreamliner. I believe this is a relatively new route. And I'm generally not here at this time of day, so could be wrong about that. So that completes a 9-hour and 17-minute flight from the continent. American Flight 175 has now pulled out of Terminal D. That'll be a 787-8 Dreamliner going to Haneda Airport in Tokyo. So we'll try to hang out for that. We've got American Flight 2926 to Tucson, Arizona, an Airbus A321neo, which is just getting ready to move its wheels on runway 18 left. And right behind it, Frontier Flight 3325 to Santa Ana, California, with Watson the Key Deer on its tail. Speaking of Frontier, we've got a flight from Puerto Vallarta now on final. Don't know if you saw it, but Fran the Sea Lion was on the tail of that Airbus A320.
Like,
So here comes the Frontier flight to Santa Ana with Watson the Key Deer. A little close up there. Once again, this plane going to Santa Ana, California. And as it goes out, we've got a Spirit plane coming in from Las Vegas. It's Airbus A320neo. Flight 1026. You've got your scorecard out. And there goes Watson. And here comes the big Dreamliner headed to Narita Airport. Once again, it's flight 175, bound for Tokyo. Phil G says, greetings, Walt, from North California. Aren't you supposed to be in New Mexico, Phil? Or do I have the wrong Phil? Ross says, does that Suparna 747 frequent DFW? I think it's a regular flight, but I think it's just once a week. As we bring you the landing of American Flight 412 from Los Angeles, Airbus A321. Got a Volaris flight over there, getting ready to head back to Guadalajara. But the featured player at the moment is this Dreamliner, which is going to Haneda Airport in Tokyo.
Across the runway Whiskey Lima and Fox Alpha and then point in on the bridge for
Sarah Deal has favored us with a $5 super chat. It's not showing up here, but I can see it on my other screen. I just can't display it. Thank you, Sarah. All right, I think we're finally off to the land of the rising sun here. In the waning moments of this edition of Runway DFW, as we get ready to send you over to Kevin and Rudy in Honolulu, where if Friday's test broadcast is anything to is where they're going to be from today. They get very, very close to the aircraft at that location, with Kevin standing in the back of a pickup truck. So it looks like American Flight 1967 to San Antonio is next out of the gate. That Volaris plane is among 4 other aircraft lined up for takeoff. And we've got American Airlines Flight 1534 coming in now from Ontario, California. It's an Airbus A321. To say that the wind is not being very kind to the area temporarily closed signs to the left of me here. I'm seeing that 2 of them have been, I'm assuming, blown down or perhaps removed. They're lying on the floor, on the grass there. We had one that came off the other night when we were here for a night stream. You can see this one's kind of hanging by a thread. So once again, this Volaris flight is on its way to Guadalajara. It's an Airbus A321 Neo. It's a new aircraft as of last October. And off it goes to Mexico.
Echo 59, also Suburban 181.
All right, before we take our leave here, let me once again play for you our salute to Runway DFW sponsor James Webb, and also to all of our channel members. And this is as of I think last night. It says there on the screen when it was. So if you're a new member, you won't see your name here until our next broadcast. But let's take a look at this. Well, that all timed out pretty well because it looks like Kevin and Rudy are on the air. So we're going to sign off here from DFW International Airport. I want to thank you all for being a part of our broadcast today. When we turn this off, it's going to flip you over and invite you to go view Airline videos live from Hawaii. So thank you so much for watching today. Should have some kind of music or something to say goodbye to you with, yes? Oh, yeah. So thanks to all of you. Thanks especially to our mods and to our members, to our subscribers, to our likers, and just everybody watching today. We'll be back next time with you on Runway DFW. We'll see you soon. Thank you for watching, and have fun with Kevin and Rudy.